Good morning everyone. Now today we are going to make a collage just like this in the style of Matisse. Now a collage is when we use paper or other types of materials, we cut them out and then we stick them onto a piece of paper. So a collage is when we cut and stick materials onto a piece of paper, just like this. And today we're using card to make a paper collage. Now, I know that this isn't printing, and our topic at the moment is printing, but year one, this is in order for next week. We're going to make our collage this week, so that next week we can make a collage in the style of the artist Matisse. Next week we will make a print using the patterns that we learn about today. Okay, now we looked at a video about Matisse the artist, and we learnt that Matisse liked something called organic shapes. Organic shapes. Now organic shapes are shapes that are a bit different. In school you learn about geometric shapes, so like the triangle, the rectangle, the octagon, diamond, the square, the circle, the hexagon. These are geometric shapes. But Matisse the artist liked to use organic shapes. And organic shapes are not like geometric shapes. They are all sorts of different shapes, all sorts of different sizes. There is nothing the same about the sides. There is nothing the same about how long the sides. Every organic shape is different. Now in our lesson today, you will have a sheet like this, and this sheet gives you some examples of the types of organic shapes that Matisse liked to use in his work. Okay, so let's get started, year one. You will need to start off with a black piece of paper. This is going to be the background for your collage. And then you will also need a selection of different coloured cards. You will need a pencil and you will need glue. Okay, so that's how we're going to start year one. Now, when you have all of those things, you are going to use the black piece of paper as the background. And then year one, you're going to design your collage. You're going to think about where you want all the different shapes and which shapes you want to use. So I'm going to have a look at this piece of paper for inspiration. Now you don't have to use these ideas. It would be lovely if you use your own ideas, as long as you remember that the shapes mustn't be things like geometric shapes like triangles, squares. They must be a little bit irregular. They must be different on all of their sides. So I'm having a look. I really like this shape, so I'm going to try and copy that onto a piece of card. I'm going to use an orange card. Now, I don't want to do the shape in the middle, because if I do the shape in the middle, I won't be able to use the card for anything else. So I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to make the shape at the edge of the card. It comes around like a big E, and then it's got lots of wiggly bits. Now remember, your shape doesn't need to look exactly the same as a piece of paper. You need to be able to make your own design. Then you take yourself a pair of scissors. Sorry, I forgot to say about the scissors, year one. And you're going to cut that shape out. Okay, all the way around. Remember, you keep your scissors still and you move the paper around when you're cutting. Okay, there we go. Nice and carefully and slowly. So you do the best, most careful cutting. And then because you've used the side of the paper to cut out the shape. That means that you have lots more paper to share with your partner at your table. So once you finish using the orange, put it back into the middle of the table and your partner can use it. Now, I want to think about where I want to put this on my page. Do I want it straight? I don't think so, because I know that Matisse liked to keep his pictures so they weren't straight. They moved in different ways. So I'm going to lay it there for now. I might change my mind later once I've made my other shapes. Now, I'm going to try a spiral now. I know Matisse loves spirals and they are one of my favourite shapes, but they're a little tricky to do, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Remember, you use the edge of your piece of paper and you're going to start from the middle and go around like this. But then you're going to go back and you're going to do a double line around the spiral like this. And then that's the easiest way to make a nice thick spiral. Then I'm going to cut out that spiral and think again about where I want to put it on the page. Okay. Cut around that shape, and then I'm going to cut this off just to make it a little bit easier, and then I need to cut around on the other side of those lines. There we go, right the way round. And when I take away that piece of paper, I have my spiral shape just like that. And I'm going to pop it there, I think. Now remember, when you're doing your Matisse-inspired collage, you can overlap the shapes, one on top of the other. It doesn't need to be separate. Okay, I'm going to look at this piece of paper again for some inspiration. I've used a spiral, like you can see here. I've used this funny E looking like shape. I like this plant like shape, so I'm going to take a piece of paper. I'm going to try and follow the picture. So I'm going to look at the picture closely and make that shape. And there we have it. That's my version of the shape. I will cut this out and put it onto my piece of paper, thinking about where I want to put it. Now, I also know that Matisse loved drawing people. So you can see different types of silhouettes of people. You might want to have a go at drawing people and putting those into your collage. The possibilities are endless. What you do need to make sure when you're doing your collage is that you're not afraid to overlap the shapes. You're not afraid to use big, weird and wonderful shapes. And it's really important that just like this collage that I did, you use all of the space. And then year one, you will have created your own version of a Matisse-style print. Now remember, this isn't the end of our work on Matisse. This is just the start, because what we will do is next week, once you've made your collage, we will use that to then make a print using the ideas that Matisse has given us. And remember, a print is when we press down on something to make a copy of it. And this is what I will show you to do next week. So good luck with this year one. Bye bye for now.